What no one tells you about being a millionaire is that the money does not magically turn your life into a perfect movie. From the outside, people imagine wealth as the final scene: the big house, the peaceful mornings, the expensive coffee, the car in the driveway, the freedom to do whatever you want. They imagine that once the bank account reaches 7 figures, fear disappears, confidence appears, and every problem becomes smaller. But the truth is more complicated. Money changes your options much faster than it changes your mind. It changes what you can afford before it changes what you believe you deserve. It changes how people treat you before it changes how you treat yourself. And if you are not ready for that, becoming a millionaire can feel less like a finish line and more like a new level of pressure. Hi, I'm Jenna from MotionBiz, and today we're talking about what no one tells you about being a millionaire. Because for many people, $1 million sounds like the dream. It sounds like the number that finally proves you made it. No more stress, no more panic, no more checking your account before buying groceries, no more feeling behind. And yes, money can absolutely make life easier. Anyone who says money does not matter has probably never had to choose between paying a bill and buying food. Money gives safety. Money gives breathing room. Money gives choices. But one of the first things people learn after reaching wealth is that money removes some problems and exposes others. When survival stress gets quieter, deeper questions get louder. Am I actually happy? Do I like the work that got me here? Do I trust the people around me? Do I know who I am without chasing the next goal? A lot of people spend years telling themselves, once I make enough money, then I'll rest. Then I'll be confident. Then I'll fix my health. Then I'll repair my relationships. Then I'll enjoy life. But money does not automatically repair the life you neglected while chasing it. It can buy a better bed, but it cannot force you to sleep peacefully. It can buy a beautiful house, but it cannot make that house feel like home. It can buy therapy, but it cannot make you tell the truth. Another thing no one tells you is how quickly wealth can start to feel normal. The first time you see a huge number in your account, it feels unreal. You stare at it. You refresh the page. You feel powerful, excited, maybe even scared. But humans adapt fast. The expensive apartment becomes just where you live. The nicer car becomes just your car. The restaurant you once dreamed about becomes a place you might forget a week later. This is not because wealthy people are automatically ungrateful. It is because the brain normalizes whatever environment it enters. The first luxury feels incredible. The 10th luxury feels familiar. The 100th luxury can feel almost invisible. That is why chasing money only for the emotional high is dangerous. The high fades, and then you need a bigger number, a bigger purchase, a bigger flex, just to feel the same excitement again. This is how people end up wealthy on paper, but still emotionally hungry. They made $1 million, but instead of feeling free, they immediately start thinking about 5 million, then 10 million, then 20. At some point, the real question is no longer, how much money do I need? The real question becomes, when will I finally feel like I am enough? And if you never answer that question directly, no amount of money will answer it for you. Another hidden truth is that relationships can become much more complicated. When you are struggling, you may think success will make people respect you. Sometimes it does.
But it can also make people project things onto you. Some people suddenly expect help. Some people become jealous. Some people act suspicious, as if your success must have changed you. Some people support you only while you are trying, but feel uncomfortable once you actually win. And some people treat your money like it belongs to the group, even if they were nowhere around during the hard years. This is where boundaries become essential. You can love your family without funding every mistake. You can care about your friends without becoming their emergency bank. You can be generous without letting guilt control your wallet. Many new millionaires learn this painfully. They say yes too often because they do not want to seem arrogant or selfish. But eventually, unlimited giving turns into pressure, and pressure turns into resentment. The truth is, saying no does not make you a bad person. Sometimes saying no is what protects your ability to say yes in healthier ways. No one also tells you how lonely success can feel when people only see the result. They see the house, but not the sleepless nights. They see the business, but not the moments when everything almost collapsed. They see the freedom, but not the years when you worked while everyone else relaxed. They see the expensive watch, but not the risk, fear, rejection, and embarrassment behind it. Some people will call you lucky, and maybe luck did play a role, because luck plays a role in almost every life. But luck alone did not answer the emails, build the product, handle the stress, survive the losses, or keep going when quitting would have been easier. That gap between what people see and what you lived through can create distance. You may want people to understand, but many of them will not, and that is why wealthy people often become more private over time. At first, you might want recognition. You might want the world to know you made it. You might want to prove something to the people who doubted you. But later, privacy starts to feel like real luxury. Not needing to explain yourself, not needing to perform success, not needing strangers to know your net worth. One of the most powerful feelings money can give you is not attention, it is the ability to live quietly and still know you are secure. Another thing people misunderstand is that $1 million is both a lot of money and not as much money as it sounds. It depends on where you live, how much you spend, how your wealth is structured, how much tax you owe, whether you have debt, whether the money is invested, and whether your lifestyle is under control. Someone with $1 million invested wisely and modest expenses may feel very free. Someone with $1 million net worth trapped in a house, a business, and loans may not feel rich at all. And someone who earns $1 million but spends like they earn $10 million can be under more pressure than a person earning far less. This is where people confuse income with wealth and wealth with spending. A high income can disappear quickly if the lifestyle grows just as fast. A real millionaire is not always the person with the loudest car or the most obvious luxury. Sometimes it is the quiet person wearing normal clothes, living below their means, owning assets, and not caring whether strangers are impressed. In fact, one of the biggest tests of wealth is discipline. When you are broke, your limits are external. You cannot buy everything because the money simply isn't there. But when you have more money, your limits become internal. Nobody stops you from upgrading the apartment, the car, the vacations, the restaurants, the clothes, the subscriptions, the gifts, and the image.
Lifestyle creep does not always arrive dramatically. It sneaks in as "I deserve this." Then it becomes normal. Then normal becomes expensive. Then expensive becomes necessary for your ego. And suddenly the wealth that was supposed to free you becomes a machine you must keep feeding. This is why some millionaires feel trapped. They are not trapped by poverty. They are trapped by the cost of maintaining the identity they created. Another truth no one tells you is that making money and keeping money are different skills. Making money often rewards speed, risk, obsession, courage, and action. Keeping money rewards patience, humility, planning, diversification, and the ability to ignore temptation. Many people are good at one and terrible at the other. They can earn fast, but they cannot protect. They can build, but they cannot preserve. They can win once, but they do not know how to survive the next cycle. After you have money, risk feels different. When you are starting from zero, taking big risks can feel easier because there is not much to lose. But once you have something, you become aware of how fragile progress can be. A bad investment, a lawsuit, a failed partnership, a market crash, a tax mistake, or one careless decision can undo years of work. This does not mean you should live in fear. It means wealth requires responsibility. It means you need to stop thinking only about how to get rich and start thinking about how not to become poor again. Another thing no one tells you is that money attracts opportunity, but it also attracts noise. Once people know you have capital, everyone has an idea. Someone wants you to invest in a restaurant. Someone has a startup. Someone has a real estate deal. Someone has a guaranteed opportunity, which is usually the first warning sign. Someone says you would be crazy not to get in early. But wealth does not mean every door is worth walking through. One of the most valuable skills is learning to ignore opportunities that do not match your strategy. Poor people often need more opportunities. Wealthy people often need better filters. Every yes costs attention. Every investment creates responsibility. Every partnership brings risk. Every shortcut can become a long, expensive lesson. Another hidden part of becoming a millionaire is that you may realize success did not make you feel as smart as you expected. In fact, the more you learn about money, the more you realize how much you do not know. Taxes, investing, insurance, business structures, legal protection, estate planning, market cycles, interest rates, inflation, currency risk, and negotiation all become part of the picture. Money is not just a prize, it is a system. And if you do not understand the system can punish you. This is where humility matters. The most dangerous person is not the one who knows nothing. It is the one who made money once and now thinks they understand everything. Success in one area can create overconfidence in another. A person who built a business may think they can beat the stock market. A person who got rich from real estate may think every deal will work. A person who made money quickly may confuse timing with genius. But markets have a way of humbling people who mistake one winning season for permanent superiority. Another thing no one tells you is that your circle becomes more important, not less.
When you are trying to grow, the wrong people can slow you down. When you have money, the wrong people can damage your life.
You need people who tell you the truth, not just people who enjoy your lifestyle. You need advisors who explain clearly instead of making you feel small. You need friends who are happy for your success without becoming dependent on it. You need a partner who respects the responsibility of wealth, not just the comfort. Money can make fake loyalty look real for a while. People may laugh louder, agree faster, and stay closer when there are benefits. So you have to watch behavior over time. Who respects your boundaries? Who celebrates your growth without trying to control it? Who still treats you like a human being when money is not part of the conversation? The best parts of being a millionaire are often not flashy at all. They are boring. Having an emergency fund is boring. Having no high-interest debt is boring. Investing consistently is boring. Having insurance is boring. Tax planning is boring. Living below your means is boring. But boring is where peace lives. The internet sells wealth as constant excitement. Private jets, luxury cars, watches, champagne, beach clubs, dramatic announcements. But real financial strength often feels quiet. It feels like not panicking when something breaks. It feels like helping your family without destroying your own future. It feels like leaving a bad situation because you have options. It feels like choosing work because it matters, not because desperation is chasing you. It feels like time. It feels like space. It feels like being able to think clearly. But even with all of that, money does not remove the need for purpose. In fact, it can make the need stronger. When you are struggling, the mission is obvious: survive, build, escape, prove, protect. But once money solves the obvious problems, you need a deeper reason to get up. Some people lose themselves here. They thought freedom meant doing nothing, but doing nothing becomes empty quickly. Human beings need challenge. We need contribution. We need growth. We need a reason to use our energy. The happiest wealthy people are usually not the ones who retire from life. They are the ones who become free enough to choose better problems. They build, teach, invest, create, mentor, explore, or support causes that matter. They stop asking only, how do I make more? And start asking, what is worth my time now? Another truth is that wealth can make you more compassionate if you let it. It can remind you how stressful life is when money is tight.
It can show you how hard it is to think long-term when short-term survival is screaming. It can help you understand how much opportunity depends on timing, information, support, health, access, and luck. But wealth can also make people arrogant if they rewrite their story too cleanly. They forget the help they received. They forget the doors that opened. They forget the risks that could have gone the other way. They forget that many people work hard and still do not get the same result. A grounded millionaire can say, I worked hard, without pretending that hard work explains everything. That balance is what keeps success from turning into ego. And maybe the biggest thing no one tells you is that financial freedom is not just a number. It is the relationship between your assets, your spending, your expectations, and your emotional needs. Someone with $2 million in simple tastes may feel completely free. Someone with $20 million in endless comparison may feel poor. Ego is expensive. Ego needs the bigger house, the louder car, the better table, the perfect image, the constant upgrade. Values are often cheaper and more satisfying. Values might say, I want time with my family. I want health. I want independence. I want meaningful work. I want to sleep well. I want to help without being controlled. I want a life that feels calm, not just impressive. When money serves your values, it becomes freedom. When money serves your ego, it becomes a treadmill. So what no one tells you about being a millionaire is this: the money matters, but it is not the entire transformation. It gives you choices, but you still have to choose well. It gives you comfort, but you still need meaning. It gives you status, but you still need character. It gives you access, but you still need discipline. It can give you a louder life, but often the real luxury is a quieter life with fewer people to impress. Becoming a millionaire can change your family, your future, your safety, and your options. But it will not automatically make you wise, happy, healthy, loved, or peaceful inside your own mind. Those things still require work. $1 million can change your circumstances, but it cannot replace your foundation. If you build wealth without building yourself, money will magnify the cracks. But if you build discipline, purpose, humility, and peace alongside the money, then wealth becomes what it was always supposed to be. Not a mask, not a trophy, not a scoreboard, but a tool that gives you more time to be who you really are, more power to protect what matters, and more freedom to stop living for applause. That is what no one tells you about being a millionaire.